Premonitions are defined as foreboding visions of future events, but they never give you the whole story. Just a glimpse of the looming shadows of things to come. Like, Scrawls of Dread is releasing a book this October. But what's inside? While we wait, perhaps we can get a glimpse. Previews of the stories the tome will contain. Perhaps we'll get Premonitions.
Fairy fan. Despite the strange situation, or perhaps because of it, Officer Daniels dutifully continued taking notes. And you're sure nothing was stolen aside from the traps, and you don't know anyone named Rhiannon? No, Gary said, still baffled. Most of my stuff is still in sealed boxes, and I don't think I've even heard the name Rhiannon, not outside of the song anyway. You really think it's something personal? No chance it's just some loon or a kid pulling a prank? Not impossible, but highly unlikely, replied Officer Daniels. Neatly and politely unpacking a stranger's entire kitchen while they're upstairs sleeping is too much work and too high risk for a mere prank. It's too well organized for someone unhinged, and it's too specific to you for someone with their own obsession. Personal to me? Gary said with surprise. What do you mean? Officer Daniels was equally surprised he hadn't caught it himself. Really? With all the fairy paintings and stuff you've got around, I figured it would have been your first thought. A mysterious unseen helper in the night does your work for you and asks for treats as payment for future work. Isn't that a fairy thing? Mr. Phelps, I'm pretty sure whoever did this is mocking your love of fairies. A fairy? In all his distress about a potential break-in, he actually hadn't thought of it. Well, it's more like brownies or elves usually, but they are related, so I guess it could be a fairy. Officer Daniels raised an eyebrow. You understand I'm saying a human set it up to look that way to mess with you, right? Gary started to protest. But you just said that. Before you finish that sentence, she interrupted, let me remind you that my assumption you did not write that note yourself and place a phony call to the police today is predicated on the idea that you are a sane person who does not wish to waste our time, and sane people, generally, do not believe that fairies are real. Right, of course, Gary responded awkwardly. I was simply following what you were saying. Obviously. With the report made, the police headed out, leaving Gary to his own devices. He watched the last squad car drive off, then headed out to buy cream and Guinness. There's a fairy living in my house! In my house! Woo!
That's it for this sneak peek. For the rest of the story and many others, look forward to our book release in October. We publish other short stories Mondays on Substack. Our Spooky Snacks series continues Tuesdays and Saturdays on Instagram and YouTube, and you can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter. If you like and share these, it'll really help us get the word out about our book. Thanks for listening, and enjoy your nightmares.